good. Fans and welcome the Glendale Community Center for the 2025. Today's game features the visiting Glenbrook against your Glenbrook South Titans. And now it's time to meet the team. The Glenbrook Spartans. They are coached by Joe Sanchez, assisted by James Sanchez, Joe Sanchez, and the manager. On defense, number 2, Brendan Fisher. On defense, now forward, number 12, Alex Dubois. Now forward, number 13, Noah Sanchez. Now forward, number 16, and forward, number 10, and forward, number 21, Mark Sheehan. On the bench, number 24, William Simmons. And forward, number 25, Elijah. And forward, 29, Arjen Drivers. And goes out. The Glenbrook starting goalie, number 39, Austin Cortez. On the bench, number 52, Jacob Zulu. On the bench, number 56, Leon Kennedy. And forward, number 65, Matthew Sang. And forward, number 76, David Benyu. And forward, number 78, Carter Dunn. And forward, number 84, Brian Andrews. And forward, number 87, Max Copeland. And forward, number 92, Ethan Brown. And now, please direct your attention to the west end of the ice as we meet your Glenbrook South Titans. They are coached by Jimmy Philbin Jr., assisted by Jimmy Philbin Sr., Joe Warner, and Henry Hearden. Let's meet the team. And forward, number 4, Will Forsberg. And forward, number 5, Elliot Hooper. On the bench, number 7, Alex Block. And forward, number 9, Charlie Sullivan. And forward, number 10, Logan Wolfram. On the bench, number 12, Package Willer. And forward, number 17, Mason Quinn. And forward, number 18, Jacob Steele. And forward, number 25, Nathan Ognon. On the bench, number 28, Ethan Smaha. And forward, number 31, James Mitsakos. And forward, number 32, Caleb Simmons. The starting goaltender, number 33, Adrian Bond. Alexander Supra. On the fence, number 52, Sigurd Vilinski. On the fence, number 56, Vincent Bullock. And forward number 77, Connor McPherson. And forward number 86, Michael Cornelius. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for your Glenbrook South Titans. Let's meet today's officials. The referees are Nick Rochon and Mike Anderson. The lines people are David Hammer and Billy Bernstein. The official scorer is Sam Schwartz. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we ask that you please rise if you are able and willing. Please welcome to perform the Star Spangled Banner, member of the Glenbrook South Varsity team, Zach Boris. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Zach Boris. Ladies and gentlemen, Glenbrook South Hockey proudly sponsors the Marco Nicotine Foundation. It all stems from the friendship between the 2024 Glenbrook South Hockey Boys and Marco. Marco was a huge Glenbrook South hockey fan who came to countless games, and after graduation, he planned to room with a few of the players at Miami of Ohio. Glenbrook South Titans Hockey is honored to partner with the Marco Nicotine Foundation for this event. Marco was a Glenbrook South student and a beloved friend to our hockey family. His life was tragically taken by a drunk driver in Glenview, and the foundation is committed to fighting underage drinking and drunk driving in our community. Here to drop time ceremonial, face-off and first puck, please welcome Ella Schreiber. We now ask both captains to center ice. We'd also like to thank the Glenview Police and Fire Departments for
Welcome everybody to the South Hockey Network, live on YouTube, live from the Glenview Community Ice Center. We're here. New matchup between the Glenbrook South Titans and Glenbrook North Spartans before Varsity and JV get underway tomorrow at Centennial Ice Rink. The AHL, the Academic Hockey League, sees its annual tradition continue. My name is Dylan Ward, alongside John Ward for this one, and our video producer, Gerard Boris. Happens to be his birthday today. Big birthday shout out to Gerard Boris, a man whose voice you never hear on the South Hockey Network, but maybe the most important piece of bringing it to your screen. John, this is a Glenbrook South team that we haven't seen yet this season, but you know, it's so great that we're able to have a Varsity 2 team at Glenbrook South Hockey and have this North-South tradition with GBN having one as well.
To say that I love the uniform. GBS, they got this cool blue and uniform with the Canadians design on it, so that's very cool. But Dylan, take a look. I mean, you got a full team out here. You got 22 guys, and that's your Varsity 2 team. So
right.
Just a lot of guys that love playing hockey, and it's awesome. This is the best sport in the world.
Everybody is present except for number 43, Oliver Scheffler, who's out of town. He's our one player that is not dressing for this one. And, you know, this tradition of North-South Thanksgiving Eve, or in this case Thanksgiving Eve, has been going on for so long that the SHL actually grants both GBS and GBN the option of dressing as many skaters as they want as a one-time exception to the rule of just 18 skaters and 2 goaltenders. So no kid is left without this experience, which I think is a great thing to do, especially at the high school hockey level.
Well, if the crowd is any indication about how important this game is for both tradition and just to get a South versus North game, which are always exciting, there is a lot of people in this arena, if you will, and it's just literally packed.
So the warm-ups have expired and 17 minutes are on the clock. This is a varsity hockey game. Varsity rules apply. So we'll have those 17-minute periods and then the 3-on-3 OT if needed, a shootout. GBN actually didn't have a Varsity 2 team 2 years ago. GBS took a 1-0 lead a year ago today, and GBN came back to win it 2-1. 2 years ago, they actually had GBS play New Trier White in this rivalry game because GBN didn't have a Varsity 2 team. So in the short history between these two at the Varsity 2 level, GBN leads the season series 3-2, at least in regular season play in the Academic Hockey League. So we'll see what this one brings. North is on a 3-game losing streak. They started their season 9-2-0. Last game they went down 3-0 after 2 periods. They scored 2 power play goals in the third to make it close. As for GBS, this is their 3rd game of 4 straight at home. They were on a 3-game losing streak themselves, but they snapped it in their last game with a 3-2 win over St. Ignatius, with Charles Sullivan scoring the game winner late in the 3rd period. And both these teams, you know, obviously Varsity 1 is the big one, but these players have been waiting for this day for a long time too.
Well, Dylan, if you look at the paper, you know, Glenbrook North, for the goals for, goals against, there's a differential of 40 goals compared to South. So North's allowing less and they're scoring more. And so Glenbrook South's going to have to shut that down.
Well, the volume is as high as it goes.
Okay.
So we're ready to get going here. Glenbrook South wearing the light blue sweaters, going from left to right here in the first period, and Glenbrook North wearing the white, going from right to left. We're underway in the Academic Hockey League's edition of the North-South game. We hope you enjoy this one. Dylan Ward and John Ward on the call with you as Ethan Smaha takes it back in his own zone. Given up, and here's a shot. That one stopped by the Titans starting netminder Adrian Bobrovsky. He's got a record of 3-7 and 3. Here's a shot. He makes the save and then covers up the rebound. He's tested early, but comes up with a big stop.
Well, listen, Glenbrook South gave it up in their own zone, right in the slot. You'll see this. He just kind of gives it up, boom, makes the stop, and it kind of tries to leak out from his pads through the paint and to the Glenbrook North player, but he was able to pounce on that just in the nick of time.
So another face-off, circle to Bobrovsky's right. So far on the season, a 3.41 goals allowed average and an 8.95 save percentage. Here's a shot by Sack, and Bobrovsky makes the save. Now behind the net, Beckett-Weller trying to steal it away, but GBN sends it back up high. They can't keep it in the zone, and Fisher will have to retreat. Now Jing takes a big hit from Sullivan near side half boards in neutral ice. Sent back the other way while GBS completes a change. Alex Bach to the near side. Charles Sullivan scored the game winner late in the third period last time out for the Titans. But here come the Spartans back up ice the other way. Jaden De Leon collides with a man on the Titans. That was Bach, and the other way comes GBS. Sullivan can't get it out past the blue line. Now Sheedy will. Glove down and sent back in by the Spartans. Bach behind the net, puts on the brakes, absorbs a hit from the Spartans' Carter Dunn. Didn't affect him much. Now shot, that one blocked by Quinn. So he sends it to the near side corner. Now right in front, they backhanded on Bobrovsky, and his rebound.
That was a great play by Bach on the defense because De Leon was really had the speed on him. He was trying to make a move around him with it, just neat stick handling play, get it between his legs, but Bach was able to just square up on his body, forget about the puck, keep his eye on the offensive player's waist. That's the way you won't lose him, and he was able to put the big hit on him.
Here's another shot off the face-off. That one stopped. Mentioned it was Gerard Boris on camera today. It is actually not. Ryan Sheedy has subbed in to do camera here for this game while he watches his son, Aiden Sheedy. The defenseman out there, number 36 in blue. A face-off win for the boys in blue. Battle for the puck, far side corner. And finally, it's poked free. Quinn looking to clear the zone. Now Adams, some help. Quinn is able to get it past the blue line, and the Spartans will dump it right back in. Bit of a change in tone from the last game. Here's a shot. That one takes a deflection and is stopped by Bobrovsky. We just saw the Old Timers alumni game, and no penalties in that one. Not a lot of hits. There were a couple.
It was fun, Dylan. I just caught the last 10 minutes of it. I just have to say, Bobrovsky, that sounds like an NHL goalie's name, and he just made an NHL goalie stop. That puck was thrown in from the point, and that got hit twice. That changed directions twice, and he was able to kind of pick it up just like a grounder in baseball. Looked like a good shortstop there.
John Zabel, 9411, says rock and roll. Glad to have you watching, John. Looks like there was a penalty on the play, by the way, so GBN's going to the power play. All penalty kills on the South Hockey Network are sponsored by Hannah Vanderploeg Trial Attorneys. The penalty went against Matthew Adams, 2 minutes for elbowing, so we must have missed that off that last whistle, but GBN gets to work on the power play. They're 22.9% in the AHL so far this season. Here's Copeland, goes across, and here's a shot by De Leon, and he scores. A great passing play by the Spartans. Starts the scoring here at Glenview Ice Center.
Yeah, Dylan, I think Bobrovsky, if we take a look at the replay, I think he just went down too early because it really looked like the GBN player had a wide open net. You'll watch this coming through the slot, and he feeds him. And you can see Bobrovsky's on this view will be better. He's actually on his knees, and he's falling forward. And Glenbrook North player had some good patience, and he just waited. We'll watch it right here. He's gonna go down. Once it's passed to this point, he goes down. He's down, and the GBN player just waited patiently and just threw it up high when he knew that he had the top half of the net to shoot at.
Brennan Fisher will not get an assist. It would have been the third assist, but he started the play with the pass as well. So Glenbrook North out shooting the Titans 6-0, and the game 1-0. Titans finally in the attacking zone. We have a player down in the corner, and it looks like an equipment malfunction. I think the skate laces of Jacob Steele and Ethan Frum were all tied up.
Yeah, I think Frum's skate.
Let's see if we got that here.
He was his derriere. It's just caught somewhere on the leg of.
Oh, just a great angle of it on the PTZ. All right, so another attacking zone faceoff for South. Hoopy wins it. Here's a shot right off the draw, taken by Logan Wolfram, but that one goes wide of the net. Starting goaltender for Glenbrook North is Austin Calentis. So far on the season, 5-2 record in AHL play, .229 goals allowed average, .868 save percentage. And the Spartans will bring it back to their own end. Good to have you with us here on the South Hockey Network. I know you can't get enough of the dads at home, but they brought the professional in to call this one. Dylan Ward alongside John Ward. As the Titans look to come back here, this one goes across to the half boards where they battle for it. Kariotis in there. Now Jing finds a loose puck, takes a shot, and Bobrovsky makes the save. Hangs on. 13:03 to go here in the first.
Yeah, I think as Bobrovsky makes his sixth save of the night, you know, he's just going to hold on to it. He's had so much action down in his end. He just might want to, like, slow roll this and just bore everybody to death. But that sometimes is a good strategy if you're really getting beat this much on shots on goal. Too many chances for GBN.
Young Guns alumni game might not start till 10 o'clock as this one's played out by the Titans. Glenbrook North in their 3-game losing streak as this shot by Sitt goes wide. Hadn't scored a goal in the first period in any of those 3 games, but they break that streak by striking on the power play against the Titans. Last game they scored 2 power play goals in the third, so they've now scored 3 straight goals by method of the power play. Kota out to Magnuson, now brought in by Sanchez. Here's a shot, and that one is stopped by Bobrovsky. Excuse me, Sachek, not Sanchez. Head coach of the Spartan team, Joey Sanchez.
Well, Joey Sanchez might not like that because Bobrovsky's going to stop that shot every time. You know, you've got 3 players in, you got two guys to pass to, and you just kind of let that shot go from about 5 feet inside the blue line. You know, Bobrovsky's going to just pick that out of the air.
You just got
a problem.
An angle of the Glenbrook South student section. All the Varsity 1 boys are watching on in preparation for their game tomorrow. Kistner goes to Bucks. He plays it off the far glass, and they can't chip it out. It's sent back deep by by Fisher. Now a hit below the goal line. Scrum for the puck. Jing keeps it alive, left circle. Now here's Fisher, goes to the right circle. A shot taken off the stick of David Benuk, and the save made by Bobrovsky.
I think the GBS goaltender is starting to settle down a little bit. I mean, I'm sure he's certainly sweating more than the GBN goalie. 8 shots, and GBS is yet to put one on the GBN North goalie.
Now 9-0 the shots. Bucks goes to the near side, Kistner. Up to Verbitsky. Now brought out by Sullivan. Taken away by the Spartans. In neutral ice, they'll backhand this one into the Titans' end. Bucks with pressure from behind. Gives up the puck just for a moment. Now again, here's a shot by North. The save made by Bobrovsky. Penalty upcoming as the second chance is put wide. And now Verbitsky possesses it, and the whistle will sound. Penalty against Glenbrook South. It'll be a hook.
That could be Sullivan. This whole penalty is created by GBN's just pressure. You know, the puck trying to get out is intercepted by the GBN player, and then that
looks like it's against number 44 Kistner. Watch him right in front of the net.
Watch the stop, you know, like on the quick, as a bang play, and then he actually makes another stop on a rebound, but the penalty had already occurred. So that penalty was just because GBN's putting so much pressure on South that they needed to catch up, and usually you'll take a guy down when you need to do that.
Here's Copeland, centers it. Here's a shot. Nice save made by Spartans. Already 1 for 1 on the man advantage in this game. Dunn behind the net. Goes up to De Leon, who's the lone goal scorer. Now the near side. Copeland, here's a shot, and the save was made by Bobrovsky. All penalty kills sponsored by Hannah Vanderplug Trial Attorneys here on the South Hockey Network. Jaden De Leon up to the high slot. Fisher down to the circle. Here's a shot right side, and they score. Nobody knew where the puck was for a moment. The referee emphatically pointed to the net to indicate a good goal, and it's 2-0 North.
Yeah, take a look at that. The shots on net, just from that one play, just went from 11 to 14 in a second. But you'll take the risk where he makes the stop of Bobrovsky, but I actually think that he lost it against his body here, and it might go up and over his shoulder. See, here's the shot, and it just kind of goes up and over his shoulder and falls behind him. So that is a tough break, because so far, you know, he's been doing really, really well. He's got an onslaught of shots that he's got to stop. So, you know, GBS is going to have to put something together here and change the momentum of this game.
His counterpart, Austin Calentes, on the other side, has not made a save yet, nor has he had to. Shots on goal, 14-zip in favor of the visitors, and they hold a 2-0 lead here, just about 7 minutes in. Now the Spartans looking for more will come up ice. Copeland over the line, centers it. The reach of Dunn, and it's played off the boards and grabbed by the Titans. Now comes Serverov. Nice. Threw it to the slot, and GBN will against Sheedy. Actually, De Leon didn't get a lot on. Now Forsberg will backhand it in. The goal is announced as Jack Reynolds. So that's his 3rd goal of the year. Defenseman here in his 13th game played. Bach to Sheedy, neutral ice, back to Bach. Look out on that change. Nearly too many men, but they avoided it. Now giving up Nasiakos in neutral ice. He'll send it across, and GBN regains it. Now to Sejcek. 1-on-3 as he enters the zone. Taken back by Aiden Sheedy. He takes a hit below the goal line. Now out to Verbitsky. Timar Verbitsky over the line. 2-on-2. Backhands one to the slot. That rolls wide. No shot on goal there. The Titans still looking for their first of the game. Just about halfway through. We get a penalty called by the trailing ref on that hit, just somewhat in our blind spot. And we'll see who this is against. Looks like it's against Timar Verbitsky. So the Titans going back to the PK.
Dylan, one of the things I noticed on the first power play tonight is you and I have talked about it, I've mentioned it before. You had a GBS player who shot the puck all the way down the ice, and he had one of his teammates all alone clear of all the other GBN players. And so sometimes you have to think offense instead of just automatically clearing the puck just because it's a penalty, especially in a situation like this being down 2-0. Take a look and see what opportunities you have for scoring a goal.
Ogner looks to clear the zone. Verbitsky gets called for high sticking. Another shorthanded chance, or shorthanded situation for the Titans. All those are sponsored by Hannah Vanderplug Trial Attorneys. GBN is 2 for 2 on the man advantage. The Titans need a big kill here. De Leon, who scored the first goal, over the line, lost the puck, and it's cleared out by Nathan Ogner. Ogner 2 goals last game, 3 goals and an assist in his last 3. Here comes a shot by Reynolds as he's looking for his second of the game, but that goes high of the net. Now De Leon to the near side, Dunn. Back up high, De Leon. Right side circle for Fisher. He's being pressured by Bach. Bach making his life difficult. Up on the far side half boards. 2-on-1 board battle in favor of GBN, but Bach can't win it. Here's Copeland. Here's a shot. That one blocked by the stick of Wagner. Rebound behind the goal line. Right circle. Back up to Fisher. He takes a shot, deflected, and gets blocked on its way by his own teammate. Dunn keeps it in the zone. Fisher now over to Dunn. Back to Fisher. Here's a shot. That one deflects wide. Dunn still with it. De Leon back to Dunn. Great puck movement here by GBN on the power play, but I don't think they've had a shot on goal on this man advantage yet. Fisher. Over to the near side for Dunn. Back to Fisher. He'll try a shot. That one blocked by Sitt. Stays in the zone. Sean, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think GBS has cleared this past the blue line yet.
No, I don't think they have. This is almost...
So now,
well, I think they're even strength now, so...
Yeah, Verbitsky.
I think the entire time they had it in there.
De Leon over the line. Leaves it, taken back by the Titans, and they'll get a much-needed clear out to neutral ice. Sullivan racing after the puck. Sajak through neutral ice. Now De Leon over the line. Here's a shot from the right side. Held on to by Bobrovsky. If you watched last Varsity 2 game, the game where they beat St. Ignatius 3-2, you might have seen some of the players broadcasting. And Teddy McCrulis, along with other colorful vocabulary, called Charles Sullivan the best player on this team. Number 9 out there has 7 goals, 7 assists for 14 points. He leads them in points and goals. He also has a shorthanded goal to his name this season. A great pickup for GBS hockey. The sophomore played Reapers last year, and he'll be making the Varsity 1 team in no time. As a matter of fact, a number of these guys actually played on the Varsity 1 team in the SHL Showcase game against Regis Jesuit. Anthony Pasquale on the call for that one. Here's Verbitsky spinning around, getting a shot off, but that one blocked. Still no puck has hit the net for the Titans yet. Weller sends it down low. Andrews giving up. Pass back up high to Weller. He lets one crack, and that one's blocked by Sajak. Now Nasiakos. Brought out of the zone, and Sajak comes across the line, has Smaha to beat, gets it around him, gets a shot away, kicked out of there by Bobrovsky. Rebound is sent wide off a deflection. Another close chance for North. They've got great speed out there. Now Magnuson. Got it back, Fisher. And it's cleared off the far wall and out.
Maybe North has to take a shot on their own goalie to just...
wake him up. If you remember last season, Varsity 1 game, Aiden Weller scored against GBN late in the first period. It was the Titans' first shot on goal of the game. So there is something to be said about goaltenders getting cold. Big hit in the near side corner, and that's an easy call for the official who had a great view of it. And finally for GBS, it's the other penalty box door opening. They'll go to the power play.
Yeah, Dylan, I'm not going to get credit for this, but having 3 penalties called against GBS, I thought even for a close play, the referees might call a penalty, but it'll be interesting to see what that is. It kind of looks like interference. It kind of looks like maybe a little bit of head hunting there, but...
Much needed situation here for the Titans, who are looking for their first shot on goal of this game. It goes in the book as head contact against Alexander Dudalevs. So there you have it. Power play for South. 24%, third best in the AHL, but they're going against a rock-solid kill for GBN. Here's a shot. That one stopped, and the first shot of the game for the Titans there. is saved by the North goaltender.
They might be saying that didn't make it all the way.
Well, the Spartans have the best penalty kill in the AHL at 94.7%. They are only 69.2 in their last 3 games, 9 for 13. Here's Steele. Now Smaha around the boards. Excuse me, that was Ogner up to Smaha, keeps it in the zone. Here's a shot, that one's turned aside.
That has to be the first one.
Yeah. Now Smaha over to Sit. Here's a shot, that one blocked and sent to the near side corner. Smaha back up high. Gets it down for Ogner. Back up to Ethan Smaha. Here's a shot, glove save made by the North goaltender, Austin Valentis.
Yeah, Dylan, that was Smaha that got it right at the blue line, and he was right in the slot. And if you take a look here, I think he's got a nice clear view of it, and he's able to go ahead and put this in. A couple of people in the vicinity, but I still think that he had a good line of sight on this one.
So back underway, GBS wins the face-off, comes to the near side for the captain of this team, Caleb Sit. Sullivan with a shot, stopped by Kalentis. Now Verbitsky, back up to Smaha, left point. Timar Verbitsky, look to get that one back up to the right, but it's taken away by one of the Spartans and sent out. High stick on the play, touched first while shorthanded, and it's stopped by Bobrovsky.
Well, the interesting thing here, Dylan, is that if GBS puts one in the back of the net, they're just down by 1 goal, even though you have such a wide spread of shots on goal.
Sullivan out of Verbitsky, up to Bach. 8 to go on the power play. Timar Verbitsky sends it over to Sullivan, but he couldn't settle it down. Now he sends it to the low slot, deflects off a skate, and a tough angle shot is attempted by Verbitsky, but it goes up and out of play. Power play is over, so now Glenbrook South 0 for 1. 2:40 to go here in the first period.
I actually think Jack Reynolds got a stick on that pass that was coming across the slot, eyeing the GBS player that was just perched right down at the bottom with an open net. But Jack Reynolds made a nice play, kept the stick on the ground. It just got it bouncing enough to go over the GBS's player's stick.
Austin Kalentis saw 34 shots in his last appearance. A 3-1 loss for the Spartans against Lake Forest Blue in the Academic Hockey League. Now brought up by Adams, now McPherson. McPherson, Adams, puck still loose, and never did cross the goal line.
Yeah, I think that was it was a play, that one coming right down the slot, although I think everything was legal. So it's just a lot of bodies flying around. You'll see here. And then it just goes right into the goalie's mitt. So, and you'll get a better angle here. This goalie's concentrating, right? He's just keeping his eye on that puck, keeping the eye of the puck, and then into him as long as the whistle's going to blow.
2:19 to go here in the first period. Game 2 of our triple header. We had the game with the youngest player in that game graduating. And we'll have the young guns later tonight, the recent grads. Names on that roster from my time here at Glenbrook South Hockey. Brought into the zone by North. Here's a shot. He makes the save. Now centered. Jaycott. Shot. Wouldn't go. 100 seconds. Dave, rebound allowed, but a penalty called.
Yeah, I think you're going to get Weller here. Weller might be taking a seat.
Yeah, Weller, number 12 right there. A couple shoves just outside the blue paint to the box.
You know, when I take a look at that play, though, like you've got these fast whistles from this referee. That didn't look to me. You know, just a couple bumps from the back. He didn't even bring his stick out in front of him to push anybody. So, a little bit of a quick call there. And certainly GBS
Already their 4th time shorthanded this first period. All penalty kills are sponsored by Hannah Vanderploeg Trial Attorneys. On the South Hockey Network, they killed their last one, but the Spartans. Roughing is the call against Beckett Weller. So goes up to Fisher. Brendan Fisher with a shot, and they score it. Deflected in. Like Jack Reynolds is going to get his second as he leads the celebration. And it's 3-0 North.
Yeah, 3-0 on what I called a pretty soft penalty. You can just see he just keeps his puck along the ice, and we've said it before, that's when the good things are going to happen.
Watch number 8.
You'll see here, he's just perched. He sneaks in from behind the net. Here comes the shot, and he actually just changes the direction. It's just a tough stop to make. I don't care if it's NHL, high school hockey, Pee-wees. It's a tough shot to save.
So 3 goals on the power play for the Spartans. Have them up 3-0. 5-on-5, it's 0-0. Here's Banuk with a shot. Stopped by Bobrovsky, and he will cover up the rebound. Shots on goal are now 21-4 in favor of the Spartans as well.
Yeah, Bobrovsky's has made, 18 stops. Even that stop was a good one. The GBN player used the defensive men of GBS to block the vision, and it's just a smart play.
First meeting between these two teams of the season. They always seem to plan it out that way. And last season, the Titans took the season series. Here's a shot kicked out of there by Bobrovsky. They lost this North-South game, the Thanksgiving tradition, by a score of 2-1, but they came back to win the second game 7-5 and then 6-2. So they took 2 out of 3, but this is the game with the bragging rights associated with it. Steele over the line, onside, takes a shot. That takes a deflection upstairs. 27 seconds to go in the first.
Dylan, you're probably not going to see it with just 27 seconds left, but when they do start that second period, I would look for anything even close to a penalty being called on GBN. I mean, 4 penalties, a couple of questionable calls. I think they got a little makeup to do here. I don't want to say that out loud, right? The refs don't do that, but do they do that? But they don't do it, but do they?
You're saying it to as many people as are tuned in, so Verbitsky takes a spill. I remember a few years ago there was that controversy where the NHL refs were caught on the mic saying, we just called a penalty against Nashville, so do you want to get this one? De Leon, 2 left in the period. Here's a shot by Magnuson, deflected into the corner. And the buzzer sounds. 17 minutes are in the books. John, it's all Glenbrook North here at Glenview Ice Center.
Yeah, Bobrovsky saw 22 shots. 3 of them got past him. A couple of them really, really tough stops to make. So, this is, you're not going to get a new sheet of ice here. And so Coach GBS is going to have to say something to get his guys moving here.
Jimmy Philbin Jr. at the helm of Glenbrook South Blue. Jaden De Leon opened the scoring, 14:20 to go, assisted by Max Copeland and David Banyuk. Then Jack Reynolds, also on the power play at the 10:34 mark remaining, assisted by Carter Dunn and Brendan Fisher.
Happy birthday to the finest cameraman this side of, let's just say, California. That whole area.
Yeah, as ever seen. And Sam Schwartz interrupting my period recap, but for a very good reason. Big happy birthday to Gerard. You don't hear his voice on the microphone, but such a key role with the South Hockey Network, if not the most important part that makes the channel run. And even when he's not doing a game, it's his equipment that he lets the Varsity 2 crew use, and Ryan Sheedy and all that. So Happy birthday, Gerard, one of the hardest working people in Glenbrook South hockey.
And Gerard, you also, I'm sure, were very, very proud to see your son play the national anthem on the bass guitar. And that was pretty cool. I haven't seen that before, so hats off to him too. Maybe that was a birthday present to you.
That third goal by GBN, Jack Reynolds, assisted by Brendan Fisher, Jaden De Leon. We have switched sides, and the second period is underway here at Glenview Community Ice Center. So period of the long change. Again, the Titans have not allowed any goals so far tonight in 5-on-5 play. 3 power play goals for the Spartans to help them to their lead.
Yeah, Dylan, GBS V2 is having a little bit of trouble, moving that puck up ice. So they got to get out of their zone faster. They got to be faster in the center ice area, and they got to make a little bit quicker passes to catch this GBN team off guard.
Spartans have not scored a second period goal in their last 2 games. They have not scored a second period goal in their last 4 games, being outscored 4.
Feeling that's going to change.
Well, it's due to change, that's for sure. This one sent in by the Titans. Back up to the left point. Led by Sachek. He's got a breakaway and a big save made. Keeping it a 3-goal game. Titans going to strip that one from Andrews at the blue line. Sullivan pressure down below the line, and Sheedy finds it to the far side. And now Sullivan will circle behind his net with it. Andrews intercepted by Quinn at the blue line. He fires it in. Picked up by Sullivan, and we get a whistle. And Quinn looked to be injured. That's why the whistle goes. But then after the call, he argued it, or maybe.
Yeah, I think that was an offsides, way
gotcha.
delayed, and the ref was just trying to see if GBN could get it out of the zone. I just want to say, Bach's having a great game for Glenbrook South, but he's got to be tired out there. He's been physical. He did a kind of an old school hip check against a GBN player up against the boards, which was really, really cool. With a big thud, it sounded like there was a mic on those boards, and of course that excites me. But I think in the blue line there, he just kind of ran out of steam. He was on the back edges of his blades, and then that's how GBN was able to pick up that puck and go in on a breakaway, of which Bobrowski made a great stop.
All the meanwhile, the Spartans got a penalty on that play, and we missed it in real time, but with 15:15 to go in the second, Glenbrook South is 0 for 1 on the man advantage. A much-needed opportunity, period of the long change. We'll see what they can do with these next 2 minutes.
Well, GBS has to take advantage of these opportunities. That looks like it's going to be that kind of a night where special teams has to play a big role here.
Rubitsky over to sit. Here's a shot from long distance, and the save is made by Colentus. Some commotion afterwards as well.
Yeah, I think the game is getting a little chippy. GBS might be copping a little bit of an attitude here because of what they've seen so far. But I think that's exactly how the GBN player ended up in the box. A play just like that, and the referee just called it on GBN. It could have been
this one
an even or upper.
Low slot. Yeah, you called that. Cross-checking was the call against Andrews, which created this power play for the Titans. Ethan Smaha up to James Nasiakos. Now Charles Sullivan brings it across. Smaha circles back. Far side, Sullivan just onside. He'll rip one. Partially blocked by a stick of North and sent to the corner. Now near side corner, it's stripped away by GBN and sent out. Benyuk chasing after it. Short-handed, but Sit will get there first. The captain The puck pinned up against the boards. Banyuk gets it free, sends it to Copeland. Had some space, didn't get rid of a shot. What a backhand pass. Here's a shot, and that one wide of the net. And the Titans lucky that there was no save required by Bobrovsky on that look.
Yeah, GBS left that Glenbrook North player sitting back there. I saw 3 GBS players going for the puck, and GBN player he picked that up and just threw it between the legs on a backhand pass. It was a great scoring chance for GBN.
North-South game, first of 3 of this rivalry tradition. Here on this Tuesday night, we have the Varsity 2 matchup. Tomorrow, both games at Centennial, back-to-back. Varsity 1 goes at 6 o'clock, Junior Varsity at 8. Here's a shot by Sitt. That one blocked by a stick. 14 to go on the power play. Bach up high, dances around one defender, but it is taken back by Copeland. He backhands it out, and Magnuson skates up ice with it. Leaves it, nice pass. Fisher with a shot. Stopped by Bobrovsky, and he'll cover up.
Well, Bobrovsky's 24th save of the night was a dandy. It's a good passing play by GBN. You know, you use your players effectively, and this is the backhand pass that we saw just pass. You'll watch this. 3 of the GBS players start going for this puck right here. 4, and then Bobrovsky makes a nice stop because he's caught all alone.
Dylan Ward and John Ward with you. Happy to have you hanging out on this Tuesday night. Ref gets in the way of a Titans player there, forces a turn. Adams gets a stick on that puck, and it goes to Connor McPherson.
That was a great check by the ref.
Bach has to send this one out as it laid in the blue paint. Now out to Quinn. Casing Quinn couldn't get to that puck. Now Matthew Adams, intercepted by Andrews. Sheedy looking to kick it back out to neutral ice. But they're called offsides against GBN. That'll send the faceoff out to the neutral zone. 12:39 to go here in the second period. 3-0 game in favor of Glenbrook North. The shots in this period, though, 2-2.
Dylan, that puck was bouncing so much right there in the blue line under all those guys' skates. I would have never been able to call that an offsides. I just would have gone, I don't know, just play it.
These officials are great, and I think it's so great that the SHL made that commitment to go the extra mile and get the 4 official system. Smaha hits Copeland into the boards by the bench. Now De Leon centered it for Dunn. But I mean, you talk about 2 refs, 2 linesmen. John, we broadcast games up in the NA3HL, and they only have 3 officials out there. So,
and that's I kind of would say about 10 times as fast as this game. Those juniors, boy, they skate fast.
Wolfram takes a shot from long distance. That's held on to by Colentes for a whistle. 11:57 to go here in the second.
And I don't know if we can get a camera close-up of a referee for tonight who's doing his best Burnsy impression.
Well, you got him
with
right
that
there.
beard. I mean, it's a classic.
Burnsy, the oldest player in the NHL, 40 years old.
I love that
Played
guy.
at the United Center last night.
I've wanted that guy to get on the
2 nights ago?
Blackhawks for about 15 years.
Yeah, well, maybe they'll sign him to a 1-year contract after Nick Foligno retires. Taken away by Fisher in neutral ice. He's over the line, over to De Leon. He takes a shot, blocker aside by Bobrovsky.
I like that. I think Bobrovsky kind of showed him that far corner. I love that when the goalies do that, they just kind of tease him, show him a little something, and then right when the player looks down at the puck and he's decided to go for it, they just close up that hole.
A packed Glenview Ice Center watches on here in the second period. Big hit near side, just sort of in our blind spot. Now De Leon gets the puck back behind his own net. Dunn. Weller just offside as the shot goes on net. That'll stop play immediately. We'll see where they drop this face-off here.
I'm glad that didn't go in the net because that the linesman would have called it back.
Right.
You don't need a goal being taken away from you after you score it. You need a legitimate goal right here. Still, we're talking about if GBS can get on the board, you're talking about just a 2-goal deficit, 3-1. That's a big, big difference in the game from 3-0.
No doubt about that. Something about it. It's just one goal, but it just makes such a difference in momentum, if nothing else, than what one goal feels like. No goals yet here in the second period. Shots on goal, 3-3 here in the middle frame after the Spartans controlled the first period, 22-4. Here's Sit with a backhand shot. Make that 4-3 GBS now in shots this period. But it's also stopped by Calentes, who's had a solid night.
So if GBS can start picking up some of these shots on goal, you know, one of them might just trickle in there. It could be a garbage goal, it could be a highlight goal, I don't know. But, you know, they still got 2 more shots to go before they hit double digits.
Here's Bach from up out high, and I think that was going to go wide, but stopped anyway by Calentes for another whistle. We've hit the 9 o'clock hour here at Glenview Ice Center.
It's a good play. GBS wins the face-off, and then they rip this probably over the crossbar, but, you know, no goalie's going to, you know, let that go by. They're not going to chance it.
Face-off taken by GBN. Grabbed back by Verbitsky. Goes to Sit. Plays it up to the right point for Smaha. Tried a shot, maybe more of a pass, but it's intercepted by the Spartans. Out to the near side, Magnuson leaves it for Sack, who takes a shot, and that one is held on to. Matthew Sack, a goal and an assist last game on a 5-game point streak in the AHL. Feels like I would have said his name a little more often than I feel like I have been, number 65 out there.
Yeah, Dylan, GBS is going to have to, they're going to have to get a little bit more mustard on those shots. I mean, a shot like that coming in from the point is not going to create too much drama.
Quick drop of the puck there by the linesman. It's won back by the Titans. They'll clear it out to neutral ice, and Andrews plays back for Ciota. To the near side for Sack. 6 goals, 7 assists so far this season for Matthew Sack. That's second best on the team next to Jaden DeLeon, who came into this one with 19 points, has at least 20 with that goal scored. And he did get an assist on the third goal too, so 21 total points now. Magnuson sends it up to Andrews, left point. This one floats in on net. That one's blocked by Smaha and covered up by Bobrovsky. He hangs on.
Dylan, I just want to do a real quick shout out. We're in a season of family and Thanksgiving and so many things I'm thinking about, but most importantly, I'm thinking about all the people who are important to me and my friend Mike Almroth, who's healing, getting better, and I had to talk to him today, and it's been a little while. And so, Mike, we just want to say I wish you were standing right in between us and helping us with some of this analysis. You're my best hockey buddy. Knows more about hockey than anybody I know.
Mike Almroth, an absolute legend. I have not seen that guy in a long time, and that needs to change. Mike Almroth, Illinois high school hockey state champion with Maine South. So, Mike, major shout out to you. If you can figure out the chat feature, leave us a message, and we'll respond to you. Just either below the screen if you're on the computer, if you're on the phone, good luck. Hit into the far side corner. Now taken back by the Spartans. And brought ahead by GBS just for a moment. Fisher knocks it back into the far side corner. Sheedy out to neutral ice. Deflected by Jing, so no icing. Racing after the puck for Glenbrook South is William Forsberg. Now the near side, Banuk takes it back for the Spartans. A much better period defensively for the Titans, discipline-wise as well. They just get something going offensively. I mean, John, it just feels opportunity in this game.
Yeah, I mean, you know, they're not causing any problems for GBN. And if you're not skating quickly, you know, kind of read your passes, intercept them. And so they just need to maybe get a little bit of a burst of energy here so that they can start putting some pressure on their skates.
Over halfway through regulation on 3 power play goals. Now De Leon, he tried it. The Michigan behind the net. We just saw one of those the other night, John, in person at the West game, but De Leon couldn't get it to settle down on his stick. Now here's a shot deflected and stopped by Bob.
We did see that, and I was delighted to see that live. Boy, those plays happen fast. And here we go. He's trying to lift it up. He's trying to lift it up. Just fell off of his stick. You know, I think only somebody who's doing that, who's feeling really, really confident, not just like personally, but team-wise. I mean, GBN's probably feeling really, really confident, and that's when you're going to start getting a little bit of cuteness going, and you would see even a play like that attempted.
Here he is again, De Leon. A shot taken, an awkward save needed to be made with the left pad of Bobrovsky. Talk about team and personal confidence for De Leon. We highlighted him earlier. He's the point leader, has 2 points so far tonight, including one of the goals, the game opening goal. Shots on goal have now hit 30 for Glenbrook North. De Leon taken back by Ogner as he forces that one out to the neutral zone.
Dylan, I'm so old, I'm just feeling tired for Bobrovsky and a couple of these other GBS players.
Adrian Bobrovsky has played every game so far for Glenbrook South Varsity 2. You got Connor Sitt backing up this game. He dresses as the backup for as many games as he can for Varsity 2, but he is technically double rostered. He plays primarily on JV, so it's been all Adrian Bobrovsky for this Titan team. Here's De Leon, and he scores again. He's got his second. And Glenbrook North makes it 4-0, their first goal of this period, but it extends their lead.
Yeah, this is a pretty good play. GBS players coming across here, and he just kind of notices De Leon sneaking into the slot. The GBS defender has got a guy in front of him, and De Leon just, when he finally gets this puck, he just puts it behind everybody, right over that left glove of Bobrovsky, and it goes into the high end of the net.
So De Leon gets his 3rd point of the game, has 2 goals and an assist. He joins the club. Jack Reynolds scored 2 goals for the Spartans as well. So De Leon and Reynolds both on hat-trick watch. The Titans are hoping that doesn't come to fruition. And John, the first even strength goal of this hockey game right there.
Yeah, I don't know. To me, Dylan, things look like they're moving in slow motion. Even that play looked a little bit, I don't know, just everything looked a little bit slow. And what I mean by that is that GBN just had a ton of time, to decide even when to shoot that puck. So it's a good shot.
Glenbrook North goal is 2nd of the game, 14th of the season, score by number 19, Jaden De Leon.
You talk about Jack Reynolds with 2 goals. Look, he came into this one as a defenseman with 2 goals and 1 assist in 12 games. So he has matched his season total coming into this one in that first period. Now Timar Verbitsky looking to make something happen for the Titans, and he's going to go to the box, and that's not what I meant by make something happen.
Well, Brady Andrews is going to take a seat because he was literally going toe-to-toe with the GBS player. You can see it here. Kind of holds the stick. It'll be interesting to see what he calls.
Excuse me, I thought it was going to be Verbitsky for hooking, but yeah, holding the stick.
Yeah,
It's time for
All right, I stand corrected. My apologies. And boy, am I happy to be wrong. The Titans, oh, we've said it a couple times, a much-needed power play here for them. They are 0 for 3 on the power play.
You know, Philbin's probably hoping that his South squad can get about anywhere from 3 to 5 shots on net here. Watch out for the shorty, too.
Glenbrook North has scored 3 shorthanded goals on the season, in the AHL anyway. Big hit down there below the goal line. Ethan Smaha collects the puck. Goes to Charles Sullivan. Sullivan with 2 assists on the power play, looking for his first PPG of the season. Now Ogner finds an open Smaha, has room, he shoots, save, rebound. Oh, what a save! And then it's covered up on the follow-up. That close to the Titans icebreaker, and we get some commotion after the play.
You got to be careful here. You got some players without helmets.
Still going at it. And maybe that's why they decided 4 officials is right for the SHL.
Well, Dylan, you know, I'm not going to speculate. I'll just throw an idea. You know, I mean, look at these players. You have Reynolds without his helmet. I mean, that's a pretty dangerous situation. And you got a couple other players. You know, this house is packed. Nobody wants to be one-upped. You know, they're going to push each other a little bit. And the refs just, you know, I think are doing a decent job of holding this down. I've seen games the other night when we were down in the junior leagues where those refs really let some of those plays go on and hits, and you can see how quickly a game can get out of hand if you let those penalties go. So I think the refs are doing a good job to try to say, go ahead and do it. You're just going to take a seat.
Speaking of sit, Caleb Sitt, the captain of the Titans, and Jaden DeLeon, the captain of the Spartans, awaiting explanations. We've got at least one guy in the box on both teams from that situation.
Well, when I look at the GBN box, it looks like there's a lot of players in there. But obviously that can't be all of them because one of them is a goalie. Here comes
Reynolds. Now. Yep. You got James Nasiakos in there for the Titans. Reynolds in there for the Spartans. You've already got Andrews in there for the Spartans. That was the holding penalty. It's hard to tell who that third Spartan is. I believe actually it's Jack Reynolds. So, or that's the one we just determined. But
it looks like one of those 1970 Boston Bruin penalty boxes, Philadelphia Flyers with all the players in there. But I don't think there's enough room for the backup goalie, so he's actually sitting in the penalty box, which makes it look like there's a lot more GBN players in there.
You got the live look at Nasiakos in the penalty box. Gerard Boris operating the PTZ. And we're still delayed here. 5:13 to go in the second. Shots on goal 31-9 in favor of North.
Can you get a look
Here
at
we go.
Glenbrook North penalty number 8, Jack Reynolds. 2-minute minor penalty for head contact and a 10-minute misconduct penalty. Glenbrook South penalty number 31, James Nasiakos. 2-minute minor penalty for head contact and a 10-minute misconduct penalty. Glenbrook North penalty number 65, Matthew Sack. 2-minute minor penalty for roughing. Time of the penalty is 11:47 of the second period. Again, that is Glenbrook.
So he'll repeat it, but
2 minutes head contact and a 10-minute misconduct. Glenbrook South Nasiakos, 2 minutes head contact and a 10-minute misconduct. Glenbrook North's Sack, 2 minutes roughing.
GBN gets an extra penalty there. GBS already on the power play. They're going to have a 5-on-3 for 1:31 seconds. Oh my, what an opportunity.
Yeah, and I think what's important there is they're mentioning this is the third penalty now related to head hunting.
Right.
I mean, I don't want to say it that bad, but they're saying stop going for the head. And even during this little scrum in front of the net, it's just that the guys are directing all of the contact up top towards the head. And we had a player that didn't have a helmet on, and I think the ref got pretty worried about that. So you're going to see, hopefully, a two-man advantage here. I don't know. All the things are being explained. I think that gives GBN a little bit of time to plan for this.
Yeah, so it's going to be a 5-on-3 for 1:31. Now they'll take that second penalty off the board.
Well, if not now, when? You know, they're going to have to, you have to, you know, Philbin's got to put his, you know, the top line out here.
2-minute minor penalty for roughing. Time of the penalties, 11:47.
So
that penalty offsets with the sack roughing, so it will remain the previous strength as before. It is a Glenbrook South 5-on-4 power play.
All right, so they gave the extra penalty there to Glenbrook South,
which negated the two-man advantage. So now you just have your 1:31 still up there of the GBS power play.
Everybody at home, write that down for those of you keeping score. So the regular 5-on-4 power play will continue. 1:31 to go on it. 5:13 to go in the second. John, we've been paused for about 5 real minutes at this point.
Yeah, do they understand what it takes for me to just stand up here for the whole game? And, you know.
Feel free to use our chat feature. So far, we've just got the one message from John Zabel. Rock and roll. I see a lot of you tuned in right now, but only that one chat, so don't be shy. We love to interact with you watching at home. Do you think the right call was made in that, in terms of the penalties there? Let us know in the chat. All right, Sullivan is ready for the right circle face-off, and it's finally hockey time again. He'll go up against Ethan Frum. And the drop of the puck, and our Brent Burns official keeps us delayed a little longer.
You know, Dylan, this is a big night of hockey for these players, playing in front of such a big crowd. It's a fun thing to do. And I kind of like what the ref did there, and he said, hey, that's a 10-minute misconduct. You're going to sit for, 5 minutes left of this second, and the first 5 of the third. And that's a substantial amount of time that you're not going to be able to be on the ice. So hopefully that'll tone things down.
Also, all those guys unavailable here on the power play. Sullivan goes to Smaha. He takes a shot looking for a deflection from Steele right in front of the net, but couldn't find it. Now Sullivan tried to go down to the right circle. Back up for Sitt, but it's poked away from him. And Banuk. Smaha playing defense there, and a good defensive play to just stuff him. Not let him make any kind of play on that puck.
Yeah,
Frum will fire it down.
And
Go
without
ahead,
a penalty.
Yeah, exactly. Smaha now. It's Caleb Sitt. Now Charles Sullivan. Through neutral ice. He's over the line. Sullivan. Back down for Steele, but it's grabbed away by North, and they'll clear it out. Now Banuk. Smaha looking to clear. Sitt. And now Sullivan for Glenbrook South. And we'll send it to Wolfram. Firing it to the far side corner.
It was assessed number 52, Simon Vierbitzky.
And the penalty is over. So GBS does nothing on that power play. They're now 0 for 4. And they trail the game 0-4. McPherson taken away by GBN. It goes out of play. We do have some new chats. MJP9512 says, let's go. And then he adds GBN, GBN. So we do have a GBN fan who has found their way to our broadcast. We welcome you. We hope you are appreciating our production. But all the Glenbrook South Titan fans out there, if you want to make sure everyone knows that you outnumber the North fans. Give us a chat and let us know who you're rooting for here in this one.
It's like the politicians and the equal on-air time, right?
Yeah.
You gotta.
Big hit there into the near side boards. No penalty called on that play. Up to Zajac. Here's a shot. That one wouldn't go. Now back up high. It's ripped by Andrews, and it missed the net. Now Bobrovsky carefully covers this one up.
Dylan, I want to say that check by Bach is what we're all looking for. I mean, this is the old time, and he just crunches the GBN player. That's the second time he's done it, so he feels pretty comfortable with that move, that player's not going to deke and get around him. He's just going to hold on to him against the boards, and it's kind of fun. You hear that big bang against the boards. All the people go, ooh, ooh, ooh.
Penalty minutes per game, Glenbrook North averages 11.5. Glenbrook South averages 20.5. John, so far in this game, looking at, well, we'll check. We're back underway. Here's a shot. That one misses the net. Connor McPherson just does get it out to neutral ice where it's sent back in by Andrews. Smaha. Far side. McPherson out to neutral. Player lost his glove. That was Matthew Adams. Can the Titans get one before they head to the locker room? Right in the slot. Here's a backhand shot. That one stopped. Rebound from tough angle. Valentes didn't have to make a save on that one. Now Adams and Ciota battling for position in the low slot. That looked close to offside. Here's a shot high of the net. Andrews giving up to Adams. Stretch pass out to Wolfram, but in the skates of Ciota.
Good play by Ciota. You know, that puck gets past him. GBS has a great chance.
Drivas. Now Dunn down to the circle. Here's a shot. Save made by Bobrovsky. Now back up to the left circle. Here's a shot. That one sails past the net. Down to 1:26 here in period number 2. And yes, it is period 2, not half 2, like it is for the alumni games. This is a real game, and you can tell by the physicality. John, in preparation for tonight, I was actually watching our broadcast of this Varsity 2 game last year, and we did the alumni game right before, and you made a comment about 3 minutes in saying that hit kind of just woke me up because we just saw such a lightly played game. Penalty coming up against GBS. Delayed call. Zoo up high. Now De Leon, and touched up by the Titans.
Dylan, you know, the GBS player, it just gets a little bit too much of him, a little hook right around. It was pretty fast, but I guess it was around here. You might see this. Goes around his belly here, right there, right, gets his right in, and unfortunately the ref was just standing right there. What is he going to do, not put up his hand? So 48 seconds left to go in this second period, and if GBN doesn't score, they're going to have about 1 minute and 10 seconds of a clean sheet of ice to work with when we start the third.
Well, John, they are 3 for 4 on the power play so far tonight. Fisher up high, goes down to the left point. Now Fisher gets it back. Takes a shot. Glove stop by Bobrovsky. And John, in case you are wondering about these numbers, Glenbrook North on average, 11.5 penalty minutes per game. Tonight they've got 30. Glenbrook South an average of 20.5 penalty minutes per game. Tonight they have 24, but the reason that average is so high is because of that brawl against Lake Forest a couple games ago. I believe they had about 70 or 80 penalty minutes in that one. I don't know if you've seen the clip, John, but I got to show you at the intermission if you haven't.
We were in Lake Forest
For a
a
varsity
couple
game.
weeks ago for a varsity game.
De Leon takes a shot right in front, unable to clean up the loose change. Now Fisher up high. De Leon near side, time running out on the second. And the buzzer sounds. So, the score 4-0 in favor of Glenbrook North. GBN outshoots GBS 22-4 in the first, 12-6 in the second. So a bit of a better second period, but one way or the other, Glenbrook North is dominating this game. They'll skate into the locker room, and I'll never say never. You got a whole 17 minutes left in period number 3, but South needs to find some puck luck.
Yeah, Dylan, Austin Colenta, GBN goalie, is skating off the ice and squirting the GBS players with his bottle, right? And what I liked about that is that the GBS goalie, Bobrovsky, comes over and he just checks him, right? Checks him because he could see that all happened. So I don't know what Glentus was thinking by doing that. A little bit of he's got to be a little bit more respectful here. But we've got a 4-0 game, and we have the third period. We're going to start with a GBN power. They're going to have a fresh sheet of ice. So, what do you say? What do you say to your players in the bench? Maybe, hey, we're just down 4-0. This is a 34-shot performance by GBN. So let's see if we can motivate these players by saying, hey, we're not down by that much, and we can turn this thing around if a couple good things happen.
Jack Reynolds, Jaden De Leon, each with 2 goals as GBN scores 3 of their 4 goals so far on the man advantage. Adrian Bobrovsky has made 30 saves, but on the other end, Colentes has been perfect as well at 10 for 10. Dylan Ward and John Ward saying we'll be back for third period action after about 10 minutes or so right here on the South Hockey Network. Actually, before we go, let's take a look at our chat. Michaela Minahane says, let's go GBS. Titans for the absolute win right now. All right. Thanks for the message, Michaela. And we'll check in on some more chats after we get back right here on the South Hockey Network. Welcome back to the South Hockey Network, everybody. Third period time between Glenbrook South at the AHL level. Dylan Ward alongside John Ward, our video producer Gerard Morris, and our cameraman Ryan Sheedy. Well, the Spartans are dominating here in Glenview, winning 4-0. They still have 1:12 of power play time here to begin period number 3. 2 goals from Jaden DeLeon, 2 goals from Jack Reynolds. 3 of those 4 have come on the power play. So at even strength, it's only 1-0 GBN, but that's not how the game of hockey works. And the Titans will have 17 minutes to try and remedy this. And don't forget, North sits 1 goal away from initiating a running clock situation.
Yeah, and also they start the period with a power play. So, you know, things are looking a little dim for South, but, you know, you can bust out of this. Let's take a look, you know, Philbin Jr.'s over there. You know, you lace these skates up and you come out and you just fight as hard as you can. And you never know when something's going to turn. They got another period to do it. Pressure's on. They got to come up with a quick 5 and not allow any.
Both these teams 2-3 in their last 5. Titans had a 3-game losing streak. New Trier, White, Lake Forest, and York before they won their last game in dramatic fashion. That game was 0-0 heading into the third period before they went up 2-0. St. Ignatius tied it, and the game winner was scored by Charles Sullivan with 1:18 to go. GBN has outscored their opponents 8-2 in the third period over their last 5 games. And over South's last 4 games, they've got a third period differential of 7-5. So an average of 3 goals scored, whether 4 were allowed in the third period for GBS as of late. So they've seen some high scoring third periods. We'll see if that holds true. Fisher into the zone for GBN. We've switched back to our first period shooting sides, and as John, you pointed out, still some time on the power play for the Spartans. Here's DeLeon with a shot. That's into the glove of Bobrovsky, who has made now 31 saves on the night.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to see Copeland and DeLeon and Dunn up front. Actually, DeLeon's going to play that defensive position, which means they have 4 offensive players on the ice right now.
Battle for the puck near side corner. It's brought out by Sullivan, but he can't get it past Magnuson. As Fisher.
This 4 offensive players is often done by the NHL. You know, it's a old strategy.
Fired down by DeLeon. Picks it back up for GBN. Happy to have you with us. 2 out of 3 tonight in our triple header. We started with the Veterans alumni game, which saw Team Blue take down Team Gold 5-3. And we've got the Young Guns coming up right after this one. That game was originally slotted for 9:30 p.m. It is now 9:30, with still plenty of time to go here in period number 3.
Things that are happening on the ice, the tributes to the players, and you know, it's just expected to get behind the clock a little bit here.
Now here's a backhand attempt, but shoved off the puck. Power play is over, so GBN now is 3 for 5 on the power play in this game. Here comes the captain, Sit. Over the line, but offside as he was in possession of that puck as he and the puck came over the blue line. Now fired.
Yeah, you know, Dylan, when you're going up against a pretty good team here, you're going to want to pass that puck into a zone, that dipsy doodle and stick handling and through the legs. I mean, that can work sometimes. Better play will be, we've got a penalty coming up.
I think it was just touched by a high stick.
Oh, sorry. One or two of your players that are moving at least at speed so that you can pass that puck into the zone instead of
14:41 to go in period 3. First of 3 North-South rivalry games here this Thanksgiving. Varsity and JV will go tomorrow. 6 o'clock for Varsity. Wilmette. Wristband required for that one. I would say make sure you've purchased it, but I believe it's too late. I believe it is officially a sellout. Hoopy tips this one ahead. I know they were selling the remaining tickets they had here at this game. Here's Sit with a loose puck, but he couldn't get clean wood on that one. In by Banyuk.
That was a good play by Hoopy to chase down that puck and then backhanded it back. I mean, you just got to get that puck to the, he was smart enough to know that you just got to get it to the front of the net. It actually went through 1 or 2 player sticks and ended up on a GBS player for a pretty decent chance.
Now Drivas, left circle, takes a shot, blockered away by Bobrovsky. He didn't know where it was. It went high in the air.
Straight up.
And it's forced out of the zone by Steele. Jacob Steele, another captain of this team, along with Caleb Sit, taken back by the Spartans. Here comes Fisher around a couple defenders, but couldn't hang on to the puck as it left his stick. Now Jacob Steele backhands this one out of the zone with one hand on his twig. Over the line, left wing side. Fires a shot, and that didn't miss by much. And just missed. Now backhand pass out to Quinn. He's got a 2-on-1 with Ogner. Here's a shot by Quinn into the glove and held on to by Austin Clentes.
This was, but he had pretty good positioning. So you watch the breakout here. Now you know it's going to be a 2-on-1. So he's back, pretty good position. Just making the pass a hard one to get over when the guy was even with you.
Leon Jing, the Spartan in question. To the left point, Bucks can't hang on to it. It's brought ahead by Magnuson. Now a 2-on-1 the other way. Magnuson takes the shot, and that one stopped by Adrian Bobrovsky. He's now at 33 saves to match his jersey number.
Well, you had Sajek coming up on the captain of this team coming up on the left wing here. And so, I don't know if we have that replay, but thank God GBN took the shot because that was a rather easy one for Bobrovsky and versus the pass across ice where he would have had to split his legs to try to stop it.
Fisher to Sajek, near side. Now Magnuson. Back down low for Sack. Centered it right in front. Sajek scores and makes it 5-0 here in the third period. That clock is about to run.
well, if Sajek didn't get past through that last play, he was able to pick up some loose change here. You'll watch the puck. It wasn't moving too fast. Good pass there, just kind of slowly comes through a couple of GBS players and ends up on Sajek's stick. He takes it, pulls it onto his backhand, onto the forehand, and then just flips it over the pad of Varsity for their 5th goal.
So on this ensuing face-off, it will become a running clock.
I think that's what that ref is looking at. He's going to make sure that happens, I guess.
All right, so back underway here. 12:20 to go in the 3rd period. 5-0 the score in favor of Glenbrook North. Noah Sajek gets his 7th goal of the season. AHL regular season-wise. And the Titans now need a goal just to stop the clock again.
Well, that's a pretty good reason to get one.
Jaycott backhands it down low. From below the goal line, Chow tried to center it, nobody home. It's played off the far boards and out. Andrews to it. Near the blue line. Bucks. And Frum get past him. No one knew where the puck was here, and Bucks finally found it. Could not clear it out of the zone as it's sent down low once again. Here's a backhand shot. That one. Chow. A Titan taken down below the goal. It's going to be a penalty against Glenbrook North. So, they'll have 2 minutes on the power play here.
You might see Fromm go have a seat. You'll take a look here. Yeah, he just kind of pushed. You can see it right here. Fromm just kind of, it wasn't much. Brought the GBS player off balance, put him on the ground. I'm going to make an easy call here.
Power play has commenced. Sajek, short-handed, right away. Noah Sajek wanted to join the party with 2 goals, looking for his 2nd. That would have been his 2nd shorty of the year as well.
Boy, he put the afterburners on, skating up that ice. That was pretty quick.
Backhand shot, loose puck, is eventually covered up by Calentas.
Sid took that backhander, and I actually almost thought it just trickled in past the goalie. You can see Sid comes in here, decides the backhand. He's got another choice. You can see that puck just flitter around there. It's about a foot away from going over the line.
Now remember, with the running clock, the penalty time also ticks during the whistles, so valuable seconds have come away from the power play. This one get cleared out. We do have a running clock with the 5-goal differential.
If you're killing a penalty, that's when you want to say, hey, there's something wrong with my stick here. You know, my helmet's a little loose.
Point takes a shot, flutters wide, picked up near side by the Spartans, and they send it out. So far, 2 shots on goal here in the 3rd for GBS. Total now 38. Beckett Weller. And a penalty.
I wonder if that's sack. It's not sack. It happened before that.
Maybe something else.
High stick?
Well, no, they will send De Leon to the penalty box. Or no, he's just going back to the. Been a high stick, John.
Look at that. That was kind of cool. A shot on net right up.
That clock keeps ticking away. 8:40 to go here in the third period now. B plays it around Reynolds. He rushes into the zone. Otis was just a couple feet off from getting. Takes the save.
The plays where I wish Hoopy came across that line. He just still my favorite shot is the slap shot. And I you know, for the GBS goalie to miss it. So you just lean back on that stick, get it up, just light it up and see if just the speed of the puck can get past the
one. And more time comes off the clock here. 40 to 15 the shots now.
Dylan, I wonder if that Magnuson on I see the name Magnuson and hockey mixed together. I just think of the great Heath Magnuson.
It's a Michigan attempt there by De Leon. His second look at that so far. Bucks trying to get it out, but the Spartans have been resilient so far in this one. Big penalty. The penalty minutes just keep stacking up here.
Now that's a hockey name.
Yeah.
I know Peter Forsberg on the Colorado Rockies from back in the and
who can forget Phillip, currently on the Nashville Predators.
Right, Phillip Forsberg.
Michigan for De Leon. Boy, does he want one. I think he knows the South Hockey Network's here with the goal cams. Out of it if he gets it.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to do it and you can be successful, you know, that.
So another 2 and 10 head contact the call. Forsberg's night is done. Another power play for North, who is 3 for 5 on the man advantage so far in this one.
They'll just let him sit right there with 6:25 left.
And counting. Have the clock stop because of the penalty, which we did not show on your 6:10 now as Brendan Fisher comes out to Copeland for neutral ice. They'll get forced out by the Titans and down the other way.
Copeland looking back, he got kind of. Isn't that a little bit of a penalty?
Now Fisher comes across. Right wing side around Weller. Fisher below the goal line. Sends it to the right wing circle. Here's a shot by Sajek in and out of the glove of Verbitsky, or excuse me, of Bobrovsky, and cleared out by the Titans. .25 to go on this Spartan power play. Copeland, who's collected 2 assists so far tonight, sends it down below the net. Kistner leaves. There should have been a penalty called there in the near side corner, but no luck from the official. John, we are down to 5 minutes remaining here in period number 3. Titans need a goal each minute. Now Chow. Somewhat taken down, no call. Actually, there will be a call. The official in the neutral zone makes it. And the whistle sounds. And another power play upcoming.
Yeah, I'm going to take a look at this. I didn't think that this was much. I guess it was a little bit of a leg sticking out by the GBS player. I thought it was more shoulder, so I'll get to the eye doctor as fast as I can, because I just didn't see that right.
So Hoopy.
Yeah, tripping on Hoopy. He just got his leg stuck out there a little too much.
All right, North is about to have their 6th power play tonight. 3 for 5. Excuse me, their 7th power play tonight. Last one was their 6th. They're 3 for 6. The clock stops again for the penalty.
Now you got to watch out for any kind of misconduct penalty.
Mark Jacot, 2-minute minor penalty for roughing. Glenbrook South penalty number 5. Elliot Hoopy, 2-minute minor penalty for tripping. Time of the penalties, 12-17 of the 3rd period.
So it looks like we got offsetting penalties, which will keep us at 5 on 5.
2 minutes tripping, offsetting penalties at 12-17. Teams playing full strength.
And equal strength. But that clock keeps running. A 41-15 lead in shots on goal. I mean, John, they scored 3 power.
I mean, what is a goal a period after that? So, you know, GBS kind of settled it down. I know that, you know, that's a busy night. Some of those really strong. A wider margin than it is.
Made by Bobrovsky with the glove, keeping it a 5-goal game.
Yeah, well, Bobrovsky, which is all the saves were like this, just kind of nice, clear vision. Anybody shooting the puck from the blue line, right, is just going to be, you know, kind of easy picking for Bobrovsky. He's going to be able to put a glove on this.
Back underway, Ciota gets it deep. Kistner knocked off the puck. Behind the goal line, taken away by Steele. Backhander can't get it out past Ciota. Here's a shot, bounces on net, kicked aside by the left pad of Bobrovsky. And Steele backhands it out. He was looking for Connor McPherson, but Ciota got there first and sends it in. The power play is over. So now just 3:10 to go here in this one. The power play is long over, excuse me. There was no power play. It was a coincidental minor call. Beckett Weller. Now Jacob Steele. Titans looking for something here. Wolfram behind the puck. As it goes to the near side corner, GBN will take it back. Down to From. Now Drivas. Chow tried to get a shot there between one of the legs of the Titans. Now Ciota again. Goes across to an open Reynolds, right circle. Here's a shot. That one wide, maybe a piece for Bobrovsky. Adams. Down to neutralize Drivas. Taken back by Kistner. And it does just come outside the blue line, according to the linesman, to stop play.
All right, though, we got the 2-minute warning, like in football.
Although the clock doesn't stop.
Right.
Young Guns alumni game, the recent grads. We've got plenty of players, and in fact, a vast majority of players from 2023 graduation years and younger, so lots of familiar names will be out there on the ice. We'll be broadcasting that one as soon as this game comes to an end. Sent into the zone. Now Fisher. Magnuson. Sam Schwartz with the rare 1 minute remaining in the 3rd period during a whistle.
Yeah, you don't get to do that very often, so, you know, he's on his game, he's on the ball.
Titans just looking to spoil the shutout now. Austin Colentus has made 15 saves on 15 shots. Reynolds. Back the other way by the Titans. Fisher. The goal line. Now
yeah,
Reynolds.
If that pass just connected, that just would have been a 2-on-1.
He is looking to just end the game, and yep. And GBN takes it here at Glenview Ice. A shot by Austin Colentus, 2 goals by Jaden DeLeon, 2 goals from Jack Reynolds, and Noah Sachek, if you could even call it insurance, gets the 5-0 goal. And that's her game here tonight.
Yeah, I think, hats off to GBN for doing that, but you got to check Colentus. Coach has to have a little conversation with him about being respectful.
8 regulation losses right there, and 2 overtime.
That the boys in blue anticipated tonight to go, but either way, a great experience to play in front of a packed audience. Blue, this is as packed as it gets on both sides. Celebrate Glenbrook South hockey, and hopefully the air hasn't been blown too much out of this building, because we've got another exciting alumni game here at Glenview Ice Center.
Yeah, this is a tough one to swallow in your home. You get beat 5-0 and 42-15. So pretty much outplayed in really every corner of the ice, and they're just going to have to go back to the drawing board, about not getting off to the start that they kind of got. I know that the ref's hand was flying up and down when it. So they're just going to have to go back and try to figure some things out.
All right. Gerard Boris, our video producer, alongside Ryan Sheedy helping out with the camera. The birthday boy, Gerard Boris. Happy birthday to you. John Ward here to my right. My name's Dylan Ward. Thanks for hanging out with us here on this Tuesday. The final score, Glenbrook North 5, Glenbrook South 0. Alumni game number 2 coming up right after this. And then, of course, tomorrow night for Varsity 1 and JV, their editions of North-South will be played at Centennial Ice Rink at 6 and 8 respectively. Till then, we will see you next time.